Hello guys, welcome to another review here at Talkie and today we have a very special product. This is the Feker Alice 98 which was sent over to us by keycapfactory.ph for an honest, unbiased review. But again, remember this hobby is a lot subjective, so I will be giving my thoughts and my inputs. Do take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so the Feker Alice 98 is their follow-up keyboard from the first keyboard that they sent me last year, which was the Feker Alice 80. So it's an Alice layout ergonomic keyboard, which was really good, except that on its stock form, that keyboard was so muted. But with further tweaking, we were able to transform that keyboard into something really awesome sounding and awesome feeling keyboard. Do check out my full review, it's on the link. This is their second iteration of the Alice layout, but now with lots of cool features that ticks almost all the boxes that you would want from a custom mechanical keyboard. Probably all the boxes and more. I think this keyboard is almost perfect, especially for those beginners wanting to try out the ergonomic layout. This keyboard is really good. Let's check the specs, which are important, specs that matter. Alice layout. Gasket mounted. Yes, it has a plastic case, but for me, there's no problem with plastic cases, especially if you want that deep, talky sounding sound profile. Less problems with hollowness like the one in this keyboard, no hollowness at all. Alright, south facing RGB. It has a software so that you can configure the keys, and get this. You have a knob, you have an LCD, and you have a numpad. That's basically all you'll ever want from a mechanical keyboard nowadays, especially for those who really want the functionality of a numpad. And it's crazy. LCD screen, the trend nowadays are going towards LCD screen. Knobs were last year, now it's LCD screen. It's really crazy. And you get all of these at a very reasonable price of 7,799 pesos if you're going for the ones with knob. And the price could go as low as 5,899 for those without the knob. And that's a good value for what you're getting. It's gasket mounted, everything that you'd ever need. Now, this keyboard comes with the Kale box winter switches. It's a tactile switch, but for me, I feel it's a light tactile switch, probably medium at best, medium to light tactile switch. With the specs on your screen, the previous Feker Alice 80 came with the Feker Matcha as one of the choices, and I think that would have been a better selection of switch. But do not mistake that statement, because the Kale box winter switches are good once they're lubed. So right now, I have these switches hand lubed using, well, not technically hand lubed. I use the spring, the bag method for the spring, and the tub lubing method for the stem, and that's it. Because I felt that the stock configuration of the box winter switches were a bit scratchy and had some spring ping on them. Which again, I'm telling my viewers, it's 2023. Most of the switches that I've tried this year wouldn't even need to be lubed, because factory lubing is a good job, and out of the box, they're really good. This probably, I think, is the first time that I've lubed in a long time. Probably first in this year. Okay, all right. So we've talked about the switches, we've talked about the specs of the keyboard. In my cover photo of this keyboard, I told you, please do not mod this keyboard. And I told you that there's one flaw of this keyboard being near perfect. All right. Let's go with the pros first, with the cons first. Okay. The only fault that I find with this keyboard is that it's so hard to mod. Number one, it's hard to open up the case. You can pry it open gently because they are just clipped in all around the upper and the lower case. But once you're able to open it, the structure inside is very complicated. Even for a guy who has been doing a lot of modifications for keyboard, I find the structure very complicated. And my main problem with this keyboard is that the GST connection cable of the LCD is too tight. After opening it up, there's no way to remove it safely. So I tried to work around with the keyboard with the JST cable and connected, and unfortunately, I was able to destroy the LCD, and as you can see, it's not working anymore. Which is a very sad story, because as a backstory, I requested for the LCD version. They told me that it's not available for review. Lo and behold, they sent me an LCD version. I was able to take pictures of it. play with it for quite some time, maybe an hour or two, and then I started modding the keyboard and I destroyed the LCD. All right. That aside, the structure is really complicated. There's a JST cable connecting the 3 pieces of separate PCBs. The gasket mounting feet on the plate to secure the plate so that it doesn't move around is similar with the Alice 80, which can be quite troublesome to mod. And my main problem with this keyboard is that, well, I'm not sure if it's a problem, but it's that the best configuration, the best sounding configuration is the one out of the box. All right. That's supposedly not to be a problem because that's a good thing. This keyboard, you can use it out of the box and be perfectly happy with it. The stabs are tuned, the sound is good, the feel is good. Near perfect out of the box. But for those who want to tinker around and mod with this keyboard, you can, but I've tried several configurations without the plate foam, without the case foam, without the PE foam. I've tried almost all possible configurations, and if you would believe me, or I'm not sure if it's just me, the sound becomes duller, becomes more muted, becomes less to my preference. I figured out that the best sound is the one that is in the stock configuration, and that is with all the foam in it. Even the foam under the PCB, not the lowercase foam, the foam under the PCB, if I remove that, the sound becomes muted. I think it kind of acts like a tape mod. So, that's the only flaw that I can see. It's hard to mod to the point that I would tell my audience, do not mod this keyboard. The only mod that you should be doing for this keyboard is to lube the switches up if you want to, because boy oh boy, after lubing, it feels really good, it sounds really good. Lube the switches, probably lube the stabilizers if you want additional lubing, but out of the box, they're really good. And you're good to go. You're good to go. You can even change the switches if you want. All right? All right, that's the only con. Those are the cons that I could say about the keyboard. The pros, I've mentioned it at the start. It's a really good keyboard. The keycaps are awesome. They're higher than Cherry Profile, but the quality is good. The legends are clear. 1.4 millimeter thickness. That's a good, decent amount of thickness for stock keycaps. Couldn't probably really ask for more. It's available in white and brown colorway. I love how this one looked. It looks chocolatey. It's a good keyboard. It's really good. At $7,799, this keyboard has not many competitors. It doesn't have any competitors that I know of. Alice ergonomic layout. I love like the Feker Alice 80. I love that it is a bit slanted, making typing very comfortable. Alice layout, good keycaps, good switches, good gasket mounting, good sound profile, tri-mode, knob, LCD numpad. Nothing else that you would ever need. If you're looking for an Alice layout with a numpad, knob, and LCD, this might be the keyboard for you. So that's it. Good job on this one, Feker. Thank you for sending me out a very good keyboard. My God, I'm so sad I destroyed that LCD. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for the continued support for the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Laters.